what is affect to us.
Now I have to go to court after our wedding, hear what the prosecutor, if he offers probation, jail time.
Sorry, what? Possible jail time? Out of all the possible news that Citra was expecting to hear on her first day in America, learning that her husband-to-be might be about to be imprisoned definitely wasn't what she was expecting. So does she still want to get married?
I feel like Citra's probably wondering if she made the right decision coming here. I can see it in her eyes, like it really hit deep with her.
That shouldn't come as a surprise, Sam. I mean, it's pretty big news. Citra's probably thinking a lot right now. But before we dive into the drama, let's properly meet this new couple. So meet baby-faced Sam, but don't let the appearance fool you. Sam is 30 years old with a history of addiction, and while he's been sober for over 10 years now, his troubles are far from over.
They found my Suboxone, and because it wasn't in a prescription bottle, they arrested me. The judge offered me a diversion program.
Now, this program would have given Sam the opportunity to attend classes and get drug tested, rather than serving jail time. But the only problem is, he hasn't told his fiancée Citra he missed the deadline for the paperwork. Yikes. If ever there was a form you needed to submit on time, this was it, Sam. Now, just to add extra complexity to the situation, Citra is from Indonesia. She comes from a Muslim family, and if Sam wants to marry her, he's gonna have to convert to Islam. She and her family refuse to allow the marriage otherwise. So, with Citra having just arrived in the States, we join the pair with only 2 days together before her father arrives from Indonesia to witness Sam's religious conversion. But that's a problem for another day. For now, Citra has other concerns.
Sam live with his brother and his dad, like 3 guys in his house. Maybe it's gonna be a bit awkward for me, like if you have period or something like that.
Now, Citra is used to living with her 2 sisters and her dad. The household dynamic at Sam's house is gonna be very different, and so too is the cleanliness level.
Yeah, getting everything ready for the lady. She's like a germphobe clean freak, and I am not, so...
According to Sam, Citra is a bit of a clean freak, so this is going to be quite the adjustment for her. And that's something she too quickly realises when she sees her new home for the very first time.
My first impression is Sam's room is really messy because his clothes is everywhere, and I need to pick like which one is dirty clothes and which one is clean clothes.
Is Citra a clean freak, or does she just clean? I mean, look at the state of it. I can't understand why Sam would leave his room in this state, knowing that this is the first time he'll be seeing his fiancée for 2 whole years. It's hardly a good welcome to America, good to see you again present. And as Sam takes a tour of the house, his dad's house, they run into the main man himself, Sam's dad.
Finally meet you in person.
Finally. So wonderful to meet you.
I know, because this whole time only on FaceTime.
Yeah.
Brought a pretty one?
Yeah.
Okay. Calling Citra a pretty one feels a bit wrong, but I'm sure his heart was in the right place. He just seems really excited to have a lady in the house. He even hopes that Citra will help him cook. It sounds a little gender role-y, but Citra is a Muslim Indonesian lady. She's been raised with traditional gender roles. Cooking or cleaning is no big deal for her. But what she isn't used to is the sleeping arrangements.
It's where Dad sleeps, the living room.
That's where your dad's work.
It's Kim's room, baby, where I'm gonna be sleeping.
That's a really nice gesture, isn't it? The fact that Sam's dad is willing to sacrifice like this, willing to give up his bedroom so that everyone else has a room, really makes me respect him. You see, with Citra now also in the house, there's been a bit of a shuffle. As they're not yet married, Sam and Citra can't share a bed. They can't sleep in the same room. So Citra is going to take Sam's room and Sam is going to bunk with his brother, Tim.
I'm gonna sleep in my brother Tim's room so her dad knows that we're separated. Like, I don't want to make her sin, so I'm gonna do my best.
Look, Sam wasn't raised a Muslim, and from what we saw before Citra arrived, it's very questionable how much he knows about Islam. But with his conversion just around the corner, you can definitely see that he's making an effort. But Citra knows he's very much struggling with one thing in particular.
Horny level of Sam is really high at the moment. Like, it's ready to explode, and he cannot just, leave me alone.
Yeah, I really hope that's not the reason he's rushing into the conversion and the marriage. But, horniness aside, he's not only given up his room to make Citra and her dad feel more comfortable, he's even installed a bidet in their toilet, because that's what Citra's used to. He wants to make her feel as comfortable as possible. And while that's all well and good, Sam's dad does have a few questions about everything that Sam is doing for her. Like changing his religion.
When would he officially be considered Muslim?
After I do a prayer with her dad.
Oh.
You say a prayer, you cleanse yourself, and 1,000 angels enter you. Right?
Sam's dad is an atheist. He believes very firmly in aliens rather than God. But he does ask if he can come and watch his son's conversion. And that feels like a very nice gesture to take part in what's bound to be a very big moment in his son's life. He might not agree with it, but he's showing his support for Sam regardless. Now, when we join them again the next morning, it's no surprise that Sam is again talking about how horny he is.
I think I'm at the highest level of horniness. I'm struggling with it. My family jewels are struggling with it. You look all cute.
Sam, buddy, no one wants to hear it, but you can definitely feel his pain, can't you? He and Citra have been together for 3 years. They haven't actually seen each other for 2 years. So in all that time, he hasn't had any action at all. He's clearly very, very eager to get busy. And with the wedding only 2 weeks away, he's not got long left to keep it in his pants. Now, perhaps as a way of distracting themselves, Sam's plan for today is to take Citra with him to get his car cleaned. You see, he's actually been living out of his car lately. He's been working double shifts, and it takes too long to go back and forth from his dad's house. So up until Citra arriving, he was sleeping in the back seat. And it shows. The car's a mess, and that kind of mess absolutely isn't the first impression he wants to give Citra's family when they arrive in the States in a few days.
I understand that he work a lot, but if we pick up my dad in Sam's car, he's gonna be mad.
There's messy, and then there's that. I'm sensing a reoccurring theme when it comes to Sam and his cleanliness, and I'm impressed by how understanding Citra is being about it. She definitely doesn't seem like that germaphobe clean freak that Sam told us she was. But before they head to the car wash, Sam's got some important business to attend to.
Yeah, I'm gonna get dressed, take the Browns to the Super Bowl.
You want to poop?
Take the Browns to the Super Bowl. I've never heard that before. What a saying. Look, what's really nice to see here is that even though these two haven't seen each other face to face for 2 years, they're immediately comfortable with each other. They clearly have the same sense of humour. They have no hesitance in talking about things that many other couples would feel awkward about. I mean, just listen to what Citra said when she first arrived in the States, having just been picked up from the airport.
I'm so ready to fart, but it doesn't come out.
Sitting too long.
When you sit like too long, maybe like it's closed the door, so it doesn't have room to fall.
There's no doubt that each of them are very comfortable in one another's presence, which is very good to see and very different from many other couples we've seen in this show. But that being said, one thing that Citra isn't so comfortable with is the state of Sam's car. She's shocked that Sam would let it get so dirty.
Oh, it's so nasty. I hate myself right now.
Now, as Citra cleans the front of the car, she comes across some old paperwork, and she asks Sam whether this is for the trash. When he responds that it's important, she then asks if it's to do with his diversion program, his way of avoiding jail time. She tells him her dad, a police officer in Indonesia, wants proof that he isn't going to jail. And now is the time for Sam to finally come clean about what's happened.
I'm probably not gonna be able to get diversion, babe. I didn't get the paperwork applied for in time, and it's kind of up in the air what could happen.
There's two things that are severely wrong here. Firstly, that Sam missed the deadline for paperwork knowing that the consequences would be jail time. That's absolutely absurd. But secondly, the fact that he's known about this for a while, yet waited until Citra was in America before telling her, just so that she wouldn't change her mind about being with him. That feels like the sort of thing he should have told her beforehand. So what does this news mean for the couple?
What is effect to us?
Now I have to go to court after our wedding. Hear with the prosecutor if he offers probation, jail time.
You can really tell how afraid Sam has been to tell Citra this news, but this has now left Citra in an awful position. Her husband-to-be might be sent to jail. What does that mean for her, all alone in a country she doesn't know? No job, no income, it's a very scary place. Sam knowingly allowed her to leave her friends and family and come and join him under false pretenses. And the worst part is it's not just her he's been lying to. He's been lying to Citra's dad, a cop. She tells him he's gonna be absolutely furious with Sam.
Him being mad's one thing, but do you love me enough where no matter what you're gonna stick by my side and we're just gonna fight it through?
The audacity for Sam to make this about Citra proving her love to him is pretty messed up. She did not sign up for a life with a husband in jail. That has nothing to do with how much she loves him. Sam's concerned that once Citra's father finds out, he'll want to take her back home. But the truth is, Citra's dad might not need to do anything, because Citra herself is plenty pissed off as it is.
If you tell me before I come here, maybe like we can talk about it.
Would you have came if I told you before?
I don't know.
That is as clear a no as you're ever likely to hear. She wouldn't have come, but that's hypothetical at this point because she's already here. Sam robbed Citra of the ability to choose for herself, and he did so for entirely selfish reasons. And now he's gonna pay the price. It might only be 24 hours since she arrived, but Sam's news has changed everything. You can literally see Citra's brain in overdrive, ticking away trying to figure out how or if this can still work.
I feel like Citra's probably wondering if she made the right decision coming here. I can see it in her eyes, like it really hit deep with her.
I'm not gonna lie, Sam royally f***ed this up. But regardless of what Citra decides, I get the impression it's Citra's dad who's gonna have the final say. If that's the case, I'm not holding my breath for Sam.